Sure if we're live. I got a spinning circle up there, but
The
now it looks like
broadcast
we're live. Welcome to the Put in the Book Show, ladies and
looks
gentlemen.
like it's alive.
We got
Oh my
Rodriguez
God.
over here. We got Laris over here, and that's all we got this
Okay.
week. Rodriguez and myself are
It,
holding it down, right, Rodriguez?
I think it's gonna be a little squeeze this week, man. Just me and you, big guy. We're gonna
Yeah,
have to
we
hold
got
up
this,
the
bro.
whole fort.
We got
We
this.
producer Joe's out hunting for squirrels. He usually does that on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So he's out there. Farachi's taking a well-deserved day off, to meditate and contemplate his Mets fervor. So he'll be fine.
Take care of some family business
Take
and
care of
worry about the
some
Mets
business, and
strategy.
yeah. He'll probably be calling Louis later on and talking to Steve Cohen. That's what Farachi does. He can't stop himself.
He does the
So
higher thinking for the show. Rodriguez and I are just the muscle. He's the brains. Sometimes.
right, well, let's. Good Lord, man, you're really reaching. Okay, I was
Trying to
trying
be
to be nice.
nice,
We're doing a nice introduction
The
for the
guy's not the show.
Farachi
Let's not bash
man.
him too
He's
much.
not on this show. Let's bash him as much as we can because he's not here. It's even better.
Yep.
However, we love you, Farachi. We like you. We like you a lot. You're a good guy. Take a day off. Producer Joe, be good. Don't kill any squirrels that I wouldn't kill.
The more
So
brains, the less hair.
the more, the more brains, the less hair. Well, that's pretty.
So
Damn.
it's up for debate, but
Okay, so well then I guess I'm gonna be going bald soon, so I can get smarter and do better with the when I place my bets on the Mets. Oops, let's say I don't. You're bald already. So this is a Mets show. Let's talk about the Mets. Let's enjoy the Mets, but first let's have a nice cup of coffee before we watch the Mets. Maybe with a little biscuit, a little bread with a little bit of white butter. Puerto Rican bread, nice warm white butter, a little snack, a little guava and cheese. And I know that Keith Lawrence for sure knows where to get this coffee.
you know what's funny? Puerto Rican roots.
Puerto Rican roots.
Nice cup of coffee.
Mm,
A little bit of those town crackers with a little butter in the morning. Um,
mantequilla.
Mantequilla, but there's no better coffee to have that with than BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. From their roastery to your front door, only the finest
Mm,
beans are hand selected. And when I say hand selected, I mean Chris from Brooklyn Water
dirty
Coffee Roasters, he gets
hands.
down on his hands and knees and don't get fresh about it. It's to get close and pick those fine beans
You may
out
like it.
for you and your pleasure. Uh, and
What
there's a,
happened there? Did you like get involved? Were you like thinking of what was going on?
I
Were
got
you
really
doing a
too
little
way too
novela?
involved.
You doing a
A,
little Mexican novela in your head?
a little bit, yeah.
I could
But
tell.
they have some delicious flavors out there. Check them out at www.brooklynwatercoffeeroast.com. Again, and I say it a lot because it's so good. It's
Yummy
from their
stuff.
roastery to your front door. It's not like that
Hmm.
coffee you buy in a grocery store that was roasted a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. No,
Yuck.
they guarantee, right? Yuck. They guarantee to ship their coffee within 24 hours of its roast date to your door.
24.
So within a couple of days of that coffee being roasted, it can be in your Keurig coffee pot, whatever, however you make your coffee, fresh, delicious. And they have some delicious flavors out there, such as dark roast, dark chocolate. I mention
Mm.
dark roast, dark chocolate every week just because who doesn't like chocolate? I mean, seriously, you get
Come on.
some dark roasted coffee with some dark chocolate
Scrooge.
flavor. You don't even need to add anything to it. You can just drink it black, delicious, and it's
Hmm.
probably the only issue is you got to take it easy with how much you drink, right, Rodriguez? How many calories in that dark roast dark chocolate?
I believe they have settled
Boom! You can have 3 cups. You can be running into walls
three
and not
times
worry about,
zero.
and you'll be burning negative calories because it costs you 0 calories to drink that. Dark roast, dark chocolate. Also, my
Sure.
favorite, morning wood. Just, Farachi's not here, but it doesn't mean that I don't have morning wood when I think of him in the morning. And if you don't have
Oh
morning wood,
God.
buy a bag of morning wood coffee. It is morning wood really is a delicious,
Oh.
delicious coffee. Then there is the Winter Wonderland. I'm not sure if that's still out there, but it was one of my favorites. Cinnabuzz, another one of my favorite coffees.
That's a favorite. Yeah, it's a good
All of
one.
their coffees are 0 calories. How many, Rodriguez?
Cero, cero.
Boom. Check them out now. www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com. From their roastery to your front door. And again, only the finest beans are hand selected for your delicate pleasure.
Don't get creepy. Don't do it.
www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com. And if you act now, check out the
Mm,
ticker. Boom! Put in the code Pop Culture Pros, and you'll get your third bag free. So don't be cheap.
true.
Buy
True.
two, get third free.
Don't
You
be
can
cheap, man.
you can store it on Amazon. They have these little vacuum seal containers for
You put
coffee.
them in the freezer.
Put it in the freezer. You're good,
Fantastic.
and it is still as
It's
delicious as
good.
the day you bought it. And there's a ton of
The
flavors out there.
day
Not
was
just the
born.
flavors not
Biddy,
not
biddy,
just the
biddy.
flavor, but that's all, folks. Not just the flavors I mentioned. Wow, I'm having a hard time with this
Wow.
commercial this
Wow.
week. Not just the flavors I
Slow
mentioned on the
down.
show. There are a ton of flavors. That's what it is. I have to think before I speak. There are a ton
That
of
usually
flavors on
helps.
that site that you can try. And if you're a little skeptical and you're not sure you like the flavor, your third bag's free. You're not hurting your pocket.
Oh,
Check it out now,
fantastic.
www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com. From their roastery to your front door, only the finest beans are selected. And the guarantee is within 24 hours of its roast date, it will be in the mail to you. Check them out now.
Check it out. Some fantastic, wonderful coffee. You can enjoy it with 0 calories. Mr. Lyres knows what he's talking about. So, listen, people, I'm just going to go back recent history here. I'm not going to make myself miserable. I'm not going to make myself unhappy. This is our show. Laris, it's yours and I's show. We're going to talk about good stuff, right? The last 6 games, the Mets are winners 4 out of 6. Okay. They took 2 out of 3 from, dare I say, the Skanks, which is always wonderful, no matter how good or bad. Laris, give me a couple of seconds on your Skank love. How good is it to take 2 out of 3 from the Skanks?
Yeah, and first, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I want to apologize real quick for my distraction on the commercial. It was Frank Terzio's wife. She was getting involved in my head, and I wasn't able to speak clearly. But
Terzio.
really beating the Yanks.
Terzio.
Terzio, we love you, bro. Hey, and cousin Max, want to say what's up, bro?
Hey, Maxie.
And if we don't give you a shout out and we don't put your post up, don't get upset. It's just because we got a lot coming in. But
It's only 2 of us this week.
You're right.
Producer Joe is out killing
He's our guru, so we're trying our best.
wildebeest.
So yeah, we truly
Beating the Skanks.
beat
Talk
this.
about how much you
We
enjoy
truly
Love it.
beat a good team because the Skanks are having a lot of their troubles. They're not hitting. A lot of the big stars are collapsing. The bullpen's not great. But let's remember the Skanks are in a really tough division, and they're still a 500 ball club. Can you say that, Rodriguez? What? They're a 500 ball club. Let me hear you say that.
Are they?
Yes, they are. Well,
Okay.
they're close to it. They're hovering around there.
Okay.
But regardless, they're a good team, and we took 2 out of 3. So that's nothing to
And they are the Skanks.
right. So it was a good series. I still
The best
think
you could say.
we should have swept, but
Dude, listen. If we grab if we're taking every series, every next 10 series, we're a championship team. It proves a lot to me. And the fact that we took 2 out of 3 from the Skanks, like you're saying, a good team, because no matter what, they are the Skanks. They're 40 something game winners, I believe, right? I think the
Yep.
Skankies are. So they're in the tough division. They're a tough team. No matter how bad they do, it's because they have to win a championship every year. So that's their goal. They do less than that, then they're a terrible team. We don't have that pressure. They
yeah,
do,
and
right?
you see in our group chat, there's one individual between the 4 of us on this show. Won't mention his name, Joe, who is not always happy with 2 out of 3. I'll take 2 out of 3 all day long. If we win 2 out of 3 from every series for the whole
Man.
entire year, we're champions.
We're
Think
the
about
best.
it.
We're the
So,
best team in the league. Period. Two
Yep.
out of 3. It's a 675 or 6 something 40%, whatever it is. I forget. It's pretty good percentage. So it's 630, 666. I don't know, whatever it is. But we've done very well. The Padres are really good. I mean the Brewers. I'm sorry, the Brewers. We just played the Brewers. Brewers, a really, really good team, man. Their pitching staff is like 5th in
50-win
ERA.
team. Yep.
You know, they're a 50-win team. They're a solid, playoff team. We took 2 out of 3
You
from
know what?
them.
You know what's funny, Rodriguez, watching them this week because the way the league is designed right now, you play a whole bunch of interleague games, and you play less games amongst the other divisions within your league, which to me sometimes bothers me a little bit. But it is what it is. But I haven't really had a chance to see the Brewers play. They are very similar to us. They're clicking on all cylinders a little better than us right now, especially offensively. But they got three top starters. They have a solid bullpen. Their closer's better than ours, but there's a lot of similarities to how we're built and playing to how they're built and playing right now. And it was a really interesting matchup this week. What do you think about that?
I do think they're sort of a similar team to us in some respect now, where they have a good pitching staff. Okay, I think they're fifth in the league with like a 3.2 or something ERA, sort of in that range. They have a very good pitching staff, starting and relieving. Okay, their closer, like you said, is better technically than ours. But you know what? I'm not gonna admit to that publicly ever again. So forgive me, Diaz. I'm sorry. Um, but honestly, it's the truth. Their offense is pretty good, but our offense, technically, if our offense is running, okay, as they should be running, we're better than them. We're a better offensive team. We're a 7 run a game team,
Yeah, I
especially
agree.
with that offense.
Can I just point out that Frank was wrong? I actually do have City Field behind me. I didn't change it midstream. Don't go back and
Um,
rewind.
oh, Frank Terzio, what's your wife doing to you? Don't worry about the background that Keith has. It's not that important.
So, what do you think? Speaking of offense, and just randomly,
Randomly,
randomly, because we didn't really discuss a lot of our direction of the show before, so we're just flowing with all of you guys. So,
we're
Lindor,
grooving, man. We're just
we're
grooving.
on a Sunday afternoon. So, what do you think of Lindor? Right. So they say he's a better second half player. He has been picking it up, but if you watch him month by month, he's been gradually getting better and better. Do you think he's going to have a offensively monster second half, or do you think he's going to continue kind of the path he's on right now, where he's um, average, above average type of offensive player?
Well, if you're looking at Lindor, you have to look at the whole team, because I think pretty much the whole team has been Lindor the whole season. Really, all our offensive stars, our offensive talent, they're not shining. They're not all stars. Who's an all star on our team? One guy's an all star. It's the pitcher, right? Starting pitcher. Every offensive player on the squad that we thought were definite all stars are not. So they're pretty much, to me, in the same boat as Lindor. You got a whole second half to prove yourself, which by the way is what we're going to talk about in a couple of seconds, because I want your opinion on the lineup that we actually have right now, and that we're going to have after the All-Star break, because the pitchers that we have. We'll talk about it real quick, but you can give your input on all of them, because I like to know if you and I are thinking in the same wavelength, because I know Farachi is going to disagree with probably 90% of what we say, right? I mean, think about it.
You know what's funny? I don't think he disagrees. He just always finds the opposite point to poke the beehive.
To
That's what he
poke the
does.
bee, to poke the bear, huh? To poke the
Yeah,
bear.
that's why
Yeah.
he is the host of the show, because he knows how to piss us off and get us
He knows how
ranting.
to do the jazz. Well, that's definitely. I just have to look at him, and when he says, if he says something millennial like, "Oh my God, they deserve more money," anything like that.
Well, it's
He
kind of like
says
driving down the street,
things
and
like
then all of a
that.
sudden somebody shines like a reflection off a mirror in your eyes, and you're blinded. It's his
That's
head.
Farachi,
So once the light shines off of his head and into your eyes, you
but
get kind of confused, and
it
then he takes
stuns you.
advantage of that.
It
Yeah,
stuns you. He can actually molest you if he's big enough. He could probably, in the time that you get your gallons, if he's, you never know.
yeah.
It's been
No,
a
you
while,
never know.
Frank.
Yeah,
However,
I heard
let's
he's been. I
let's
heard. I heard he's been working out and trying to
well,
improve that
listen.
part of his game.
That's you and your morning wood coffee and all your little things. But let's talk
So
about
I mean, no.
getting the Mets offense up and running, as you
Okay.
like to say. You know, what would it take? Would it take some Brooklyn Water Coffee Company? I mean, You got this is your lineup. This is your lineup right now. You
Yeah, I
got
think I
Nimmo.
think a little
You got
Sterling's
McNeil.
Paradise Breakfast mixed in with Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters, and we'll get into Sterling's later. I was just kind of plugging that in a little quick, but I
You're
think
you're
and
not you don't even
it's
know what you're talking about, right?
I do. You get a little good
Well, we're
Sterling's
talking about
breakfast from
Sterling.
Sterling's Paradise, and a little good Brooklyn Water Coffee Roaster coffee. It gets you going in the morning. But I think it's something that you have mentioned several times in the past, and I agree with you 100%. And that is really kind of starting at the top of the lineup. And you you had mentioned, hey, um,
Oh my God.
let's talk about maybe moving Lindor to the leadoff spot, and it's something that I agreed with you on because I think it'll. Can I continue? Thanks. I think it's
I'm not stopping you. I'm
your,
not
your
stopping you.
laughter makes me laugh. I think it's
Oh,
because Lindor, if he was in the leadoff spot prior to Nimmo coming back, of course, he would change his.
did I just can't hear you? I can't hear you. Can't. I can't.
Wow, I've been on mute the whole time.
Oh my God.
I've been on mute the whole time.
Oh my God. People. And he's pretty sober,
I
honestly.
am. So let me take a step back. I apologize, everybody. I hope you got a
What
laugh out of that because
what
I
were
will
you
later.
doing?
My wife just knocked on the door and said, "I'm listening to the show and I can't hear you, honey." So now that's funny. So let's take a quick step back, right? Um, the biggest thing
Rewind,
getting
rewind. Stop.
getting the offense going is really you need a table setter, and that's something that Rodriguez has
Okay.
mentioned from way back, right? He was saying that. No wonder why you were laughing. He was saying, we need
Oh
Lindor
my
at the top of the
God.
lineup pre Nimmo coming back, which makes a ton of sense because
Hmm.
Lindor is such an intelligent baseball player. If you put him at the top of the lineup, he'll change his whole approach to every at bat, and he can do it. He's better lower. I don't like him second. I like
Well,
him
here,
more
well,
third,
here's
to be honest.
well.
But
Speaking of Lindor, let me interrupt you. And I want to ask you this real quick.
mhm,
Because speaking of Lindor,
sure.
he's a baseball player. He has a good baseball mind. So Nemo gets on with a double. Okay, they're having problems scoring runs against the pitcher, and this is an actual situation that just happened. Lindor comes up, bunts Nemo over to third, so that the next guy can drive him in with a fly ball or a hit. Yeah, Wandy, thank you. We do appreciate that. Okay.
Well, let me go on mute and answer
Before
that for you.
before here we go again.
I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Okay.
Finish your question.
So do you think that's a good thing for Lindor to do as a baseball player? Or do you think that because he makes 350, $40 million a year, that he should be hitting with a man on second and trying to drive him home instead of
Well,
leaving it to the next guy to do?
I'm just going to pop this quote up from Frank real quick because it kind of fits into your question and my answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. Right. So for me personally, I don't care if he makes $400 million a year. If he's doing what he needs to do, and in the National League, Frank, you know that, and everybody out there who's a Met fan knows that. Until we have the DH, it's really about the small ball. And if there's a man on first and you have zero outs, even sometimes one out, depending who's behind you, if it's Alonso and somebody who's hot like a Dom Smith,
He's
um,
not bunting if Nito is hitting behind him. He's not bunting if Nito
exactly.
or
My
or if
point
Guillaume
exactly.
is hitting behind him.
My point
Dominic
exactly.
Smith
He's
is
not
smoking
making he's
hot.
not making a poor decision. And for those of you out there who are getting upset that he's bunting because he makes $340 million a year, guess what? In the National League, every run counts. And in a offensively deprived team like the Mets, if you can get the runner out of first base onto second base, eliminate the double play situation, and put them in scoring position with only one out after your bunt, you're doing a
And
good thing, and
and
I am okay
there's
with that.
and
And
there's
that's
the
that.
rub with an offensively challenged team like the Mets,
Right.
because no one we can't say that we're consistently scoring
We're
four and
not.
five runs a game.
If
Okay,
we're super hot, Rodriguez, and everybody's hitting, then I'd be like, "What the freak are you doing, bro?" But the truth of the
well
matter is,
then
you're
it's a
moving him
different
onto
team.
second. You're getting him out of a double play position, putting him in scoring position with 2 outs to go. And to me, that is an ideal situation for National League ball. When a
It's not
DH
even.
comes
It
in,
doesn't
maybe it
matter.
changes. Who knows? But
It doesn't matter with the DH or whatever. It's depending on how the team scores. If your team still has a DH and they're only scoring 3 runs a game, you're still not scoring that many runs a game with the DH. You should be scoring 4 or 5 runs a game with the DH. That's what I think, because you're definitely taking out a pitcher slot twice. Pitchers don't hit, so you got two more opportunities to score runs. So you got to be scoring 4 or 5 runs a game when you have a DH.
yo, my mind just exploded. Did Farachi disagree with me?
If not for the bunt, that's a 1 run game and even more heart attack city. Exactly. I think he agreed. Did you agree? I like the bunt. I
I'm
don't.
okay with the bunt. I just
Okay,
said I
so
don't
then
care what you're
Farachi
getting paid.
Farachi
This is
likes the bunt.
baseball. When you're a offensively challenged team, getting the runner over, taking him out
Mm-hmm.
of a double play position, putting him in scoring position, to me, that is such a sacrifice. You don't care what your average says. Well, if it's a sacrifice, it's not going to affect your average. But anyway, you don't care about the glory of hitting a home run, a 2 run double, or a run scoring double. You care about the team, and getting that runner over is super important. I mean,
The
where is
Mets
everybody's
have a
small ball
problem.
mentality? You remember in
The
the '80s, Rodriguez, pitching was not quite as dominant as it is now, but pitching was the formidable part of the team, or formidable part of the game, I should say. And there was tons of sacrifice bunts. Wally
right.
Backman. How many times did Wally Backman bunt with Lenny Dykstra on first or Mookie Wilson on first? How many times? I don't know the numbers, but if I remember correctly, it was often when
You can
he need.
play you
Yeah,
can play small ball and you can try to hit home runs at the same time. Okay, you have your table setters, you have your big bopper guys, you have your RBI guys, you have guys that'll slap the ball and get on base. There's a multitude of talent within a lineup, and that's what the Mets, when they're hot, they're realizing that themselves. Like, every player tries to do what he can do, what he's good at, not what the other guy's good at. You don't want Nemo trying to hit home runs. Nemo's a line drive hitter. You want Alonso to stay steady and try to hit home runs and drive the ball, because he's a big bumper. That's what he does. Everyone has to stay within themselves, and I think they're slowly getting to that, because if it, like you're saying, Lindor's getting hot, Dominic Smith is hot, Alonso's getting nice and hot, McNeil is starting to hit again. Okay, you got McCann, who's settling in as a major league starting catcher now. He looks like he's you know flexing his muscles a little bit. He's gonna give us some offense from that position, and he's what's his nickname? McCannon. And the guy plays
right,
great
because of his
defense,
arm. Yep.
right? Yeah, I mean, the guy calls a really good game and he can throw people out. So you have a really good team. Now, what happens to that? I forgot to mention Conforto. Good lord, what happens now when JD Davis comes back? He's coming back by the All-Star break. Who does he replace? Does he come right back into third, Keith, or do you make him wait a little bit?
Well, I don't know. VR is playing pretty hot with the glove at third. So what I do is I play both, and the hot hand, hot bat goes. I mean, that's what I think Rojas should do. What he will do, I don't know. But
Well, think about the position and think about the importance of that position. So you may not want to, let's say, put JD Davis in the seventh, eighth, and ninth inning, because you may want to have a better defensive play in those innings,
oh
and
right,
and maybe have JD Davis start the game, get a couple of at bats, and then let Villar finish it off. That way you keep both of them fresh, right?
I'm thinking more starting, like
More
who
starting.
starts.
So you
Yeah,
would probably start Davis. You probably
start the
start
hotter
JD
one.
Davis.
Right. If JD
Well,
Davis
oh,
is
you
having a
mean
bad streak, because
just
VR is formidable. I mean, I love VR. I mean, the guy 1 through 9
don't
innings.
get don't get don't get tricked with the bench mob stats. Don't get tricked because
Well, one
you
through
know.
nine in the innings wise, he will save you runs. You know,
I think
but
he's
I think
yeah.
JD Davis will score you more runs than VR will save. End of the day. But if
Okay.
JD Davis is not hot, put VR in it. You're not going to lose. Let JD Davis ride a day or two on the bench, get his mind together, get him back in the lineup, and get that bat swinging again.
Okay, well that makes sense. That makes sense. So then you bring in Guillaume, play some second base late in the innings, late in the games. That way you give McNeil a little bit of rest. Move Dominic Smith in. You give Pilar some outfield. But after that you kind of you got to give Nemo rest because right. I don't believe that Nemo's a full time starter. I don't know about you. What do you think about Nemo as a full time starter? I think he's too brittle.
Yeah, I mean, his history has proved he's kind of a little bit brittle. I think he should be. If I had to put a percentage on it, maybe 70%. I do not have an issue with PR out there running center field on the other 30%. The guy is a hustler. The guy is a warrior, and he's been pretty formidable with the glove at center field. Um, not that Nimmo is a fantastic glove. It's just Nimmo's table setting ability is really, really what I think has surged our offense to come alive since he came back during that Yankee series. You
It
know,
does seem a bit more alive now that Nemo's at the top of the order and
but if he's
behind.
not in, why not put Lindor up there? Because remember, okay, that whole
I
bunt
would
conversation. Taking a step back, Lindor adapts to his position in the lineup because he is such an intelligent baseball player. If you put him at the top of the lineup, I think mentally he will approach the every pitch as a top of the lineup
I would
batter.
put Lindor
I think he would
first,
do
and I would
almost
put
as good as
Alonso
Nimmo.
second. I would put Lindor first with Alonso behind him. So Lindor gets some fastballs, gets his timing back. If he gets on base, then they have to throw fastballs to Big Pete, and Big Pete can mash. And
Who
then you
goes
got
third?
Conforto. Conforto. I'm gonna take Conforto. I'm gonna put Conforto third because guess what? I either put Conforto third or I put him fourth. Okay, because
Historically, yes. But what about
eh,
current? Because he's not
eh,
batting. He's not batting as a third hitter. He's batting more as a
who
seventh,
Conforto?
sixth. Yeah,
Conforto's been hitting pretty well since he came back.
has he? Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like he hasn't.
he's been okay. So I like Conforto's swing.
This is
It's a
where we miss
beautiful
producer
swing.
Joe with the stats.
We do. Producer Joe, what are you doing? Come on, man. Get your food and let's go. Get back in there behind the wall. Get us our stats. However, we don't got you today. We miss you, producer Joe. So when you take a guy like Conforto, you put him third. Who are you gonna bat fourth? You need a big bopper fourth. So I'm taking Smith. I'm putting Smith fourth. Okay, because he can hit for average and he can drive the ball. And as soon as he stop with that old A thing as soon as he started just driving the ball straight again, what happened? His average went up, his power numbers are going up. After that, you could put in JD Davis after Smith if you want to put in a righty. You could put in McNeil. Then you could put in McCann. I mean,
Who,
you're
who
solid.
has been 4 for 39, 6 for 38? I guess that's Conforto.
So
But
Conforto's not doing well.
no, to me, he hasn't been doing well. He's been um, okay. It's not that I don't believe in Conforto. I think he can do it, but I think right now you don't want him in that
Don't
top
make me
kind of
say
position.
charlatan. Don't make me say charlatan.
Yeah, he's been playing like a charlatan. He has. I
Oh,
mean, I don't
Jesus
think you want him in a
Christ.
third type of position.
Well,
I
you
would
got to
like to
get
see
him started.
if you're gonna put Pete second, and I don't mind that. See what happens. I think you got to put Dom third because Dom is
You could be
when
great third.
Dom is hot,
Absolutely.
there is nothing that gets past him, and he is starting to slowly get to that point. And Gary and Ronnie called it out on last night's game or the night before that, or there's two games yesterday. One of the two games yesterday that he is starting to look like he did last year, where nothing gets past him. And I have to agree, he's
Right.
starting to really look good. Even it's reflective in his outfield play too. He's starting to look
Well,
really good
he's
all
playing
around.
a lot better defense. I mean, he's getting to balls. He's diving into the stands and making catches. Okay, he's running
You've
in
seen
on
that where he was sitting
balls.
up on the ledge and
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
really good
the
play.
kid is working hard on his defense. There's one thing that I want to point out, and I'm glad you brought that up about Dominic Smith. I said someone should have taught that kid how to take strides because he runs like a little old man. I mean, his legs are moving pretty quick, but he's taking those little itty bitty strides, you know. And the kid's like what, about 6 feet. He needs to stretch those strides, man. He'll pick up at least another second easily.
I've seen
Dominic Smith,
catchers.
that's your free tip of the day.
I think McCann is faster than Dom Smith,
He
but
might, he might be, he
but
might be.
Dom Smith is a very intelligent baseball player, and he has a
He's
really good bat. I just hope that he is more consistent and streaky because if he can play a whole second half similar to what he did last year in the 60 game season or whatever it was, we are going to be very
well.
pleasantly surprised.
That goes with every player on the team because they've all
Yes, you're right.
underwhelmed me in the first half. They have done nothing. Alonso's done. I mean, they've done their share thing. Let me not say nothing. It's way too outlandish to say that. However, they haven't performed up to what they're capable of. You know. So for just well,
Producer Joe is saying as he runs, there's a solid line in between the footsteps.
there is a disgusting thing that these guys want to bring me in to talk about, but I don't want to talk about it because I do not want to. Okay, but Keith is going to say something as soon as I finish about
Oh,
Dominic Smith and his friend.
I don't know
Go
what she's
ahead,
talking
Keith.
about, but
I'll wait.
he bats with two sticks, and the guy once both sticks are up and he's hitting hard, there's no stopping him.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going, Dad. Keep going. I'm gonna let you like really go. Go
I
ahead.
can't without Joe's
Go ahead.
support because if
Go.
Joe
No,
was on the
I'm
show right now, he would
listen.
really pipe in. So
Joe is supporting you, and he'll be
thanks, Joe.
sitting next to you, and you'll both be behind the bars like you belong. So go ahead. One
But
more.
no, I'm gonna
I hope you're not on mute again.
because I was talking about Dom Smith, and I didn't want you to hear about it. No, if
He's
I'm
so
not
weird.
sure what's on your mind, but I'm thinking moving along a little bit to our starting pitching situation.
That's what I was gonna say. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We'll talk about our starters. The Grom. What's there to say? He's the best.
I mean, oh no!
He's
First of all, he
greatness.
gave up 2 runs yesterday. He freaking sucks. We should
He
trade
does
him. What do
sucks.
we even
He's
What do we even have this guy on the team
I
for?
know.
It's a
I know.
joke. Two runs in
They
one
had two
game.
hits. They had 2 hits and 2 runs
A
until like
joke.
the
No,
fifth
no.
or sixth.
Seriously,
I mean,
fire
come
this
on.
dude. You don't. As a matter of fact, if he wants an extension, just DFA him. Let anybody
Trade
pick
him.
him up.
Trade him.
Pay people
Trade
to
him.
pitch for them.
Trade him. Trade
All
him for
kidding
a bag
aside,
of broomsticks if he's
all
so
kidding
skinny.
aside, it is ridiculous how upset people get. And I have to say myself, when DeGrom gives up 2 runs, I am totally not used to it. It's odd for me, but I realize that giving up 2 runs in 7 innings is an amazing start. Like, get over yourself, people. The
And he
fact that
had
you
10
have
strikeouts, right? Didn't he have like 10
right, the fact
strikeouts?
that you have a pitcher that's so amazing that
I mean, come on.
if he gives up 2 runs in 7 innings, you're upset. That's something to
You
celebrate.
can't you can't be upset about a guy like that. Yeah, but the second guy coming behind him, Taiwan. We changed his name to Yaiwan Walker, dude. This guy's having an all-star campaign with us. I
We should
mean,
call him Padawan Walker because he's
we
a
should
Jedi.
call him Padawan. Oh, Jedi Walker. Okay, well, you know
Yeah,
what? Skywalker from the Knicks. It
there
all
you go.
fits together.
Remember, he won a
Um,
slam dunk. So
he did. Now this guy's having a really good year. How's he having a good year, Keith? I see him as a fastball slider, outside movement. He's had really great control. That's one thing I'll say. But a fastball slider guy with great control. Did you think that he would be able to have such a good year for us?
I didn't think he was going to be this far along, and in terms of how well he's pitching. I'm just putting a Farachi's comment. We'll get to that.
Yeah, one
I,
was snubbed.
I didn't think he'd be this good, but if you go back to when we signed him, and I think we all agreed, we were all on the same page. But I can only definitely speak for myself, where I loved the signing because he was a huge prospect. with the Mariners. He had some surgery. He came back a little bit the year before, which was last year with the shortened season. He looks sharp. Anytime you have a prospect that went through their Tommy John and all their elbow surgeries and everything else, um, you're in a good position because let me name one person who went through that situation. Jacob DeGrom. When you have a player who was a top prospect, even though DeGrom was a shortstop, but they come back, they went through the surgery, um, they had a little bit of an off year, and then they come back strong. Typically, they only get stronger. I did not
Listen,
think it was a bad gamble. 2 years, 20 million. I mean,
I think the Grom is a 1 in a million type of talent, and I think Yaiwan Walker is following in his footsteps because this kid,
could be a number one on a lot
to
of teams.
be effective in the major leagues, you have to have control. You have to put the ball where you want it. If you can't do that, it doesn't matter what kind of fastball you throw because they're either going to let you walk them and they're going to hit you because they're going to know what's coming. So once you have that control established, you become a good pitcher, which in turn becomes our next pitcher, which is a control guy, a smaller guy who relies on sliders and movement and deception, another control guy. Walker was a godsend. You know what? I'm going to interrupt myself. Thank you. That was a fantastic quote right there, Mr. Terzio. He was a godsend compared to that other guy, Trevor Bauer, who's running into all sorts of bad stuff over there. Keith, I know you loved Trevor Bauer and you wanted him to come here. You were dying and you couldn't wait. And you couldn't wait to have him here. What do you think about what's going on with Trevor Bauer? We'll interrupt this real quick. What do you
Well,
think
I'm not
about
going to
Trevor
get too
Bauer?
much into it because you know what? I'll take this opportunity to throw a teaser out there. So in our
Ooh.
pre-second half of the season, I want to discuss with my friends on the show, Rodriguez and Faraci,
Mm.
who we did not sign, who we did sign, and a little comparison between the two and where we are today and where we
Oh,
would be if those folks were on a team. And it's
special
not
Keith
just
segment.
including Bauer. Well, it's a us segment, right?
A
So,
segment. Okay.
um, and Rodriguez is being facetious, but I
Facetious
did
as
not
heck.
really want Bauer at all. I did not like him. I did not like his attitude. I thought he was overpriced. And I thought he would be a detriment to the team based off of his cost and his attitude. Um,
We got lucky, bro. We got
we
lucky
got very
because
lucky. Now, if the Mets signed him,
his talent
would I
would
be
have been.
mad at the Mets for it? No, I wouldn't have been mad at them.
He's a talented guy when he plays. You know, he's a talented pitcher, and he can pitch in the
But
majors.
he's a little
But
bit of a D. You
he's
know,
a
he's
he's a he's a little bit of a big D, and this is showing because of his past D aggression. So anyway, Trevor Bauer, we're glad. Just like Luis Rojas said, he's glad that we signed Yaiwan Walker.
But the good news
Okay,
is, all you Dodger fans, you can get a Trevor Bauer bobblehead. Oh wait,
you
no, you can't.
can't.
No, you can't. I'm sorry. Oh, but you could go to Dodger
Too
Stadium and buy a
bad.
Trevor Bauer jersey.
You
Oh wait, no, you
can't.
can't.
You can't.
So
Sucks to be you.
The Dodgers. That's kind of like like if you get locked up, you're a kid, you're like 17 years old, you do something completely stupid, kind of innocent,
Something you
and your
did.
parents just go like this. Rot in jail. That's kind of what the Dodgers just did
Pretty
to
much.
Bauer, and
Well,
I love it. But the
dude,
problem is, well, and I
he
kind of
did
love this
something
too.
bad. He did something bad.
No,
Come on.
well, I
Come on. He did something pretty bad.
innocent until proven guilty, but where there's smoke, there's fire. There's two sides of that story. Um,
There's three
I,
sides to the
I,
story.
yeah, but the Dodgers either way are stuck with paying him, which also kind of makes me happy. I mean, wait, sorry, that's sad.
Oh my God, horrible. Poor Bauer. Anyway, good luck, Bauer. We're gonna worry about our own pitching staff, okay? Because we got a guy that's kind of worth the money this year that we're paying him. Little guy, 5'8", little pitcher from New York, Stroman. What do you think about the Stroman, man? I think he's done a fantastic, a really good job as a
Oh my
second,
God,
third starter
yes,
for us this year.
the kid is amazing. He reminds me a lot of, I won't say it's just somebody I know. It's just maybe one time during the season I'll get into that little teaser possibly, but he reminds me of somebody who is near and dear to me, who is just a hustler, a fighter. He gets out there
A baller.
and he comes on top because he has a determination to just overcome constantly. Every start he gets on that mound, and there's people, not New York, because New Yorkers pretty much are
It
okay with
sure
it,
would, Farachi.
but people who get a little upset with his, I guess, the way he's just out there. He is
Listen,
he is so
why can't he
ferocious.
be himself? Why can't he be
I
himself?
love it.
And
I
he's not
freaking
a
love it,
harmful
Rodriguez.
guy. He's not an
I love it.
evil guy. He
He
doesn't do
is
bad stuff.
no.
He promotes self awareness. He promotes self love. He promotes a lot of things. He's not
He
a. He
takes
doesn't seem like he's a bad kid,
every start so serious.
and he
When
should. He's a major league ball
Did you
player.
see him the other day? I think it was when Peraza hit the home run. He came out of the dugout. He ran up and down the dugout, pumping his
He,
fist.
he's
That
a team guy, man. That's the type
I,
of guys
I
that
am
you want
all
to play
for
with
it,
you.
And if you're not from New
Okay.
York, well, not everybody. I can't, you can't speak for everybody.
Hmm.
Most people from New York will seriously appreciate that kind of passion.
Exactly, exactly. And when you got guys like that, and then unfortunately you have other guys that you lose. You lose a guy like a David Peterson who does show some passion, but unfortunately he's having a bad year. You lose the guy that you thought would be a big part of your rotation, Lucchesi, and he was just coming around. He started pitching really well, Keith, right? He was
He
pitching pretty
did.
well, and the next thing you
And
know, he's done.
breaking news. Uh, it, Somebody feels this is not an accusation or any potential truth behind this, but somebody feels that Trevor Bauer may have assaulted a certain person's ex-wife on the subway the other day.
Terzio's ex-wife got assaulted
Of course,
again.
of course, this is
She
all a
gets
joke.
assaulted every other day for some reason,
Yes,
that lady. I don't know. Is it
not
assault?
that I'm big enough
Is
to
it
make any
really
kind of waves,
assault?
but I don't need any emails from and cease and desist emails from anybody. It's a
We
joke.
we we do not. We do not. It was a joke
Yes,
with Terzio's ex-wife. She's aware of the joke.
hopefully.
Okay. So so we get so after Stroman, who's a baller, after these guys that are hurt, you bring up a guy named Ty Lore McGill. Ty Lore McGillicuddy. Guys come in, has been a stud, has been balls to the walls. He shows no fear. He shows a lot of determination. He's done a pretty good job for us, the kid. What do you think about Ty Lore
What
McGill?
more can you ask in a fourth starter, Rodriguez? I mean, the guy has been going out there and just he's been grit. You know,
He's
he's
been
been
he's been
grit.
balling, man.
What more can you say about that?
He's
He's
been
been
holding
balling,
his
like you
own.
said, and grit. What more do you want
So
from
he
a
stays
fourth
in the
starter?
he stays in the rotation till the end of the year. What do you
I,
think?
it depends. Right now, I think he's secure as long as he's healthy, and it depends what happens. There's a
Well,
lot of things
Corey
coming in the
Oswald,
future.
Corey Oswald just keeps blowing up the chances. He came in, he pitches pretty decent, and he goes out on the injured list.
Yeah,
I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
he's like the first dump in the morning that smells the worst. You gotta flush it and keep it moving. But
And that's something for you kids to remember. Corey Oswald is like the first dump in the morning.
yes, the stinkiest dump.
Yeah, that's what they say. Well, hopefully, before we take that first dump in the morning, we have a guy like Carrasco coming back in a couple of weeks.
Cookie, right? Because you want your
What do you
dump to
think?
smell like
Cookie?
cookies.
You want your dump to smell like cookies.
Absolutely.
If it has to smell, it's got to smell like cookies. What kind of cookies? Chocolate chip?
I like sugar cookies, but chocolate chip are good. Any type of cookie is good when it's fresh out of the oven, to be honest with
Any type of cookie smell is better than shit smell. Remember that,
you. My
kids.
brother said,
Told to
oh,
you by Keith Lawrence.
my brother said that sometimes he can also smell like White Castle farts coming out warm and stinking up the room. But
You see what happens when I let you go on? I
it's,
let you
well,
have a little bit of freedom, and you
you
just
took a sip. I,
abuse it.
I took advantage of your sip. Wait, where'd Rodriguez go? Oh, I'm all alone. So yeah, I'll wait until Rodriguez comes back. But McGill to me is he's a top fourth starter. Um, I can't tell you how many teams in baseball. I mean, he pitches short. You get him for 5 innings, but I can't tell you how many teams in baseball would love to have a guy like McGill, who holds teams kind of down to 2 runs or so, maybe three. Granted, the guy's only pitched 3 times so far, so you got to give him a larger sample to really judge where he's at. But Oh, Rodriguez is waving at me. There you go. Good. I was flying on my own.
Okay,
I was
I'm
just saying,
sorry.
with Miguel,
I'm
you
sorry.
got to give him a larger sample. It's only been what, like 3 starts, but he's been doing really well. And you give him that fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh chance based off of those 3 starts.
It's
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 great,
his
right?
it's his demeanor on the mound that I like. It's the way he seems to be battling, the facial expressions that he has, the body, the way the body, the way he emotes himself, the way he looks on the mound. He looks like he's confident and he believes he can be there. So I mean that's a lot. That's a lot to me as a former player, as an occasional player. It's a big deal to me when you have that type of heart.
We have a special comment
Uh
from
oh.
Mia Rodriguez asking what we think about the
Oh.
Brandon Nimmo situation. And I know we mentioned this a little bit before, but just because we're honored by her question, um,
Wow.
just real quick, I mean, I think Nimmo is a great leadoff hitter, but we have to limit his exposure just to keep him healthy, right? Rodriguez, what do you think?
I agree. I agree. Thank you for the question, Mia Rodriguez. We appreciate your question. And Nemo can be a very special player for us if you just give him enough rest and don't wear him down too much. I think he'll be a good player. So feel safe that Brandon Nemo will be on the Mets for quite a bit longer.
I agree.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we got Carrasco coming back, Cookie. Okay, and hopefully he doesn't smell like the bad type of cookie. He comes in and he does
Wow.
and he does
Tuna
his
cookie.
job. The tuna cookie comes in, does his job, throws that curveball, strikes people out. He'd be a great guy to have in the rotation. Maybe you have Noah Syndergaard coming back in August, September. Okay, but because you know him, he's already trying to throw. They told him not to throw for 6 weeks. He's on the mound in 4 weeks throwing again. So Noah Syndergaard. I'm not calling him that. I already messed up a few times. We're going to try to come back earlier than later. What do you think about a guy like that? Do you let him come back and inspire the team and all that rah rah stuff, or do you try to curb him and say, "Listen, dude, we need you in the playoffs because he's at the end of the contract, right? Isn't he a
Yep.
free agent
Yep.
next year?
He's a free agent
So,
next year.
so is he
It's going
gonna
to be a
come back with
qualifying
us?
situation, I'm sure.
I'm hoping because the fans will go nuts if they let Noah Syndergaard go. So
Y-
do they? It's up to him. What do they let him do? Do they let him come? He has to show himself a little bit, right? For his
Yeah, I
people, for
think
his office,
you're
for
going to
his
see
money.
him pitch limited this year. I don't think he's going to be an impact. He's going to be helpful to kind of extend our rotation a little bit and rest our bullpen. Um, but it's going to be interesting because I think a lot of Noah's issues are Noah's issues. I don't think it's something like where he is, n- you know, it's a flaw, it's a fluke. I think Noah is not properly taking care of Noah. Like for example, all those big workout sessions he pulled a lat. All those, he is his own worst enemy. So hopefully through this experience where he had to sit out all this time, go through a major surgery, hopefully there's a maturity level in there where he don't go down kind of the dark night route and he takes his situation and uses it to propel himself into the next level.
Well,
You know,
all he has to do is look to his right, and he sees a 6'4", 190-pound guy that doesn't have the muscles, doesn't need the muscles, is loose as a
his
goose,
his
and
his
throws
biceps as
harder
big
than
as my
his.
wrist, dude,
Okay, all right,
and
and
he's a
that guy,
beast.
and that guy, that skinny guy, by the way, just eclipsed 1,500 strikeouts. Okay, the second fastest guy to ever get to that in the major leagues. He might be at 1,501, right, Keith? Because he
Yeah,
had he
something
had
like that. Yeah.
like 10. What do you think about our Degrom, our homegrown Metsy Degrom? Give me your quick opinion on that, man. 1,500.
The guy's amazing, and he had such a beast start to this year, and it's so amazing how the fans really don't recognize that. They only recognize the fact that he has been human the last couple of starts, but
Mm-hmm.
his human level is beyond human to most pitchers. I am so grateful for him. Without him, I don't think we'd be where we are, and I think that I hope that he continues to continue his path continue his path. But anyway, that kind of makes sense to me towards the end of the year. So, for example, he said, oh, when I was pitching against, I think it was Atlanta or whomever it was, I decided to throw some 97-mile-an-hour pass fastballs, and I realized it's like another pitch. And now I throw it all the time. And then when I want to dial it up, I throw 101. And that was really what it looked like last night.
That's
It
just
looked like he knew
amazing.
he was on that 1500 precipice, and he just decided to throw 101 again in the
That's
fourth
true.
or fifth inning.
He's the best
He's a
there is right
beast.
now. He's the best there is. Okay, period. Hands down, the best there is. Okay. Now, him having a young guy like that on our team, who's going to be who's very talented. He's only 32 years old, but he's a young 32. He's more like a 28-year-old guy. So, and you got another guy, Polar Bear, our first baseman, Pete Alonso, the guy who's hopefully will be with us for the next 20
Yeah,
years,
another person everybody's
defending
complaining about. Like,
defending his
man,
title.
he's only
He's
going to hit 30 plus home runs this year and bat 260
well,
with 90 RBIs. Are you
but
kidding me? We would kill for that in the past.
we love we
That's a
love
bad year.
we love Alonso, man. He's a
Yes.
beast. He's a beast. He's going to be at the All-Star game defending his home run title, right? He's the last champion because last year there was no All-Star games. So
Yeah.
he's still the true champion. He's got to defend his title against 7 other guys. Keith, I'm going to give you these 7 other guys real quick. Oh, they should have addressed it. You're right. We talked about that a million times. Noah Syndergaard, good luck. Here's the guys that are playing there. Trevor Story. What do you think about him?
I like Trevor Story.
One through five. 1 through 5 chance of winning. One is the best chance he has.
It's really hard. Isn't this year in Colorado?
Yes, in Colorado.
It's really hard, man. I mean,
So
um, I am, for me personally, I think that I'm going to go ahead and pick our guy.
you
But
got
I
well,
think Trevor
you
Story,
got
he's at,
Trevor
he's at
Story.
home.
Okay, you got Trevor Story,
He's at home. He has a
Otani.
good chance. I'm going to pick him maybe number 4.
Okay, Trevor Story, Otani, Trey Mancini from the Orioles, Joey Gallo, Matt Olson, Salvador Perez, the catcher, Juan Soto from the Nationals. Those are the guys that our guy is competing against. I think he can go against any of these guys in a home run contest
I'm
and
going to pick
beat them
Otani
all.
number 1. I'm going to
This,
pick Alonso number 2.
and I was just gonna say that to you, bro. The only one
Alonso
that
can win.
scares me is Otani because he's so big. That
He's
guy,
inhuman.
he's so big, man. Okay, Otani. You think Otani and Alonso? And if you look at the rounds, that maybe they're trying to set it up that way. 30 home runs and 90 RBIs. That's awful. Look at Farachi. Farachi's still chiming in with his baseball knowledge. Thank you, Farachi. We do appreciate that. And is he on mute again? Is he on mute again?
I just said Farad. Yes, I was. I said Farachi is off today, but he still chimes in with and milk.
Yeah, he's Mr. Poop and Milk. That's one of the things we love about him. One of the things that we do love about him, Farachi's poop and milk. However, are
It's
you still
because his
with
hair
me? Are
keeps
you
growing,
still
but
with me?
he poops out. He poops it out. Yeah, I'm here.
He poops it out of his hair. Oh God. Okay, quick. Keith, are you hungry? Are you starving? Because you're saying crazy things.
I'm
If you're
good.
so hungry, you should just go see our buddy Pierline. You
Yeah,
should
that's
you
true.
should just go.
Oh, wow, we're up. Wow, the game actually started. So let's hurry up and move through this. Stay with us
Will
because
you just do the promo? I'm
we
giving
don't.
you the promo. Do the promo. Don't
I'm stalling because it takes me a minute to pull
be
it up. So
stalling.
we want to talk about Sterling's Paradise.
Okay.
Sterling's Paradise is an amazing place to go for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They also have daily lunch specials. You can check them out at 360 State Road 7 in Margate. If you need to know
Yum
how to
yum.
contact them, it's 754-205-2637. It is a family-run business. I don't have all the information in front of me on Sterling's Paradise, but I can tell you I personally know the folks who own Sterling's Paradise, and
Fantastic Caribbean food.
fantastic Caribbean
Healthy,
food, fantastic
flavorful,
Haitian food.
fantastic
You
owners.
you can order ahead
Great
of time for
people
your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, on the way to work, you can get something to eat.
on the way
You
home.
can order something for lunch,
Get
and then
something
you
to eat.
can pick up dinner for the family on the way
Oh my
home
God.
at Sterling's Paradise.
Paradise.
Yes, where food is made by a family for your family. I just made that up. Not really though. Daily lunch specials again. They're on 360 State Road 7. That's in Margate, Florida.
Oh,
754-205-2637. For those of you who are not here in Florida, I invite you when you do come down to check out Sterling's Paradise. Again, it's 360 State Road 7 in Margate, Florida. 754-205-2637. And Rodriguez, myself, and what's the other guy's name? The bald guy? Whatever his name is.
I
All
don't know.
three of us can tell you that we know them personally. They are amazing people and they cook from their heart, and you will never be disappointed. Sterling's Paradise. Check them out now.
Check them out now. Go there, get yourself some food, and go home right now. And the Mets have 4 games against the Pirates. They play tonight at 7 o'clock. Tonight is Yaiwan Walker, hopefully an all-star. Maybe he'll be pitching. He'll pitch himself into an all-star berth. Maybe DeGrom will let him. Will do something. Oh no, the game was postponed. I forgot. Now I'm talking about nothing that's not gonna happen. But anyway, we got 4 games against the Pirates. Yaiwan, Stroman, Tylor, and Mr. TBD. I don't know who TBD is. It may be Farachi. Since he's doing everything, he might as well pitch a game for the Mets. Why is he on mute again?
Because what I said was completely inappropriate and you didn't want to hear it.
What are you cursing about now? Hurry up. What do you think? What do you think? What's going to happen with the Mets? You think they're going to take 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4? What's going to happen with this season?
It seems like every time we do a doubleheader, we like kind of mail it in for the second game. So I am really hoping for. I was hoping for a sweep, but 3 out of 4 would be amazing. Amazing. It'll put us at
3 out of 4. We're at 10 games over 500.
Yeah. So let's go
at the All-Star break.
Yeah, but either way,
we're
3 out of
10,
4.
I think we'd be at 10 if we go 3 out of 4. If we sweep them, we're at 11 games over 500, heading into the playoffs in first place, God willing. That would be fantastic. I'm looking for 3 out of 4 from them. They have to put the pressure on them. Even Farachi's chiming in, saying 3 out of 4. I hate agreeing with the kid, but he might be right. I'm looking at 3 out of 4, especially if you got Yaiwan, Stroman, and Tylor. You know, those 3 guys have been pitching really well. They can win 3 games. And TBD or Robert Stock or, Steve Farachi, who knows? Whoever can pitch the last game, maybe they'll give us a shot. So, however, let's not forget that even though they don't play that well, they're like 32 and 54. The Mets are 45 and 38. We should beat them. Sometimes you need a little help, and that's why we have Mr. Laris over here with his Fuacata of the week. I don't know if he's going to Fuacata Pittsburgh.
No, I never know. Fuacata and a half.
Know. But he needs to Fuacata somebody.
Okay, Pittsburgh's been hot, but what do they have, 32 wins? I'm not even going to waste my Fuacata on you, right? I want to waste my Fuacata, not waste. I want to properly apply my Fuacata to the folks who deserve it. And you're the Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nats. No, really. I mean, you guys are
They're not doing anything to you.
They're doing a lot to me. They're causing me frustration. I mean, we should really be like 6 or 7 games up. And you have the nerve to win some games? Who do you think you are? Fuacata Braves and Fuacata Nationals. Lose. Oh, the next 4 games or whatever amount of games you're playing, you suck it up. And then for the second half of the season, suck it up more. Fuacata for the rest of the season. Super Fuacata. Whoosh.
We got sound effects this week.
I did sound effects, yeah.
Lots of wind in those Fuacatas.
Yeah, super Fuacata because I want
super Fuacata has a lot of wind. You're right.
It does.
Fuacata has a lot of wind. It's like a Keith Larris fart to the whole populace. The whole stadium gets fart. Congratulations, you've just been farted on by Keith Larris again. Well, listen, now that you've been farting on these people, let's say we have to tie this up in a little bow, like Farachi says, because we're running against the game here. So we have to. I know there's no game. I'm just kidding. But we've been off for a little bit. You guys have been very nice to stay on and watch us. Let's wrap this up. Let's talk about what you got going on for the week. What are your thoughts? Say goodbye to people. You want to give another Fakata?
No
Do
more
your thing.
Fakatas. I just want to say, like it's been an amazing first half of the season. I hate the All Star break. I despise the All Star break. It's a bunch of games without my Mets playing, but I am also at the same time, as contradicting as it is, grateful for it because we get to take a break,
Mm-hmm.
and I have no issue, for the record, with Degrom saying I am taking a break because the ultimate goal is to win a championship, not to pitch in an All Star game. I hope Mr. Cohen gives him that All Star bonus if there is one. Um, he makes a lot of money, so I really don't care at the end of the day. I just want him healthy,
What
and I
is
want
he
him pitching.
talking
I
about
want him
now?
pitching all the way through October, and I want to win a championship this year. So let's go Mets. I hope we have a more amazing second half, and I hope every other team just dumps out. Let's go Mets.
Well, oh, fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Lars. Thank you for watching episode 16, season 4 of the Put It in the Book show. We've had a pleasure today. It's been a really small show with just me and the big guy over over there. Me and the big guy over here. We just had a lot of fun today. We hopefully we managed to entertain you somewhat. And let's go Mets. The Grom's the greatest. Blessings to all. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Farachi, we're thinking of you. Producer Joe, love. See you later.
We don't have the closing credits, so just imagine it in your head, all right?
Imagine it. Imagine
Put it
all
in the
the
books, folks. Let's
people.
go Mets. Win three
Da
to
da
four,
da da.
baby.
Bing
Put
bing
it in the
bing.
books.
3 out of 4. Good books. Yeah.